remarkable, if you haven't read it yet, the case against impeaching Trump. Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz, Fox News contributor Andy McCarthy. Mueller will accept some written answers from Trump. Professor Dershowitz.
Well, I think it's an attempt to achieve a compromise. The written answers will be vetted by his lawyers, and President Trump is not going to be allowed to just go off on a tangent and state his opinions on the state of the world. He's going to be answering yes, no, I don't remember, and lawyer-like answers. That seems like a perfectly reasonable resolution. But if they ask him, even in writing, what was your motive when you fired Comey, he has every right to say, none of your business, executive privilege, Article 2,
right.
You have no right to probe my state of mind when I engage in a constitutionally protected act.
The idea that we try and criminalize thoughts has always bothered me, whether it be hate crimes legislation. In the case of James Byrd, that became a big issue in 2000. George Bush supported the death penalty for the people that committed that evil atrocity. But people said, well, they didn't support the hate crimes legislation. It didn't make sense to me. Andy, is it a bad idea or a good compromise for the White House to give written answers? Most lawyers have been saying anything else is a perjury trap. And this, some say, could even be a perjury trap.
Well, Sean, it could be, but the president has very good lawyers, and what Professor Dershowitz has just laid out is about as good advice as there could be. The answer to the questions from an inferior executive official about what the chief executive's motivation was in carrying out his constitutional prerogatives is Article 2. If that's the answers that the president gives, then I don't really see the jeopardy for him.
So what is the point? If Don McGahn gives 30 hours to the special counsel, and I think this was the point Rudy made, that the media was all over, Professor, truth is not necessarily the truth. But if there's a contradiction or a different recollection, then the special counsel will be the one that decides what the truth is. And we kind of know that the team that they put together is kind of predisposed to hating Trump. They probably would believe Don McGahn, no matter what was said.
There isn't a single experienced criminal lawyer who wouldn't agree with the thrust of what Giuliani said. They would have put it differently, but they would have said the same thing. That is, even if you say something that is absolutely the truth and you pass a lie detector test and you get some sleazy, flipped witness who's been threatened with his family going to jail unless he composes or sings, nonetheless, you can be charged with lying if they have one witness who contradicts what you said. And that's why when he said the truth isn't the truth, that's essentially what he meant. And every criminal defense lawyer and prosecutor who's honest and experienced will tell you the same thing. That's why people don't go and speak to prosecutors. Ask Martha Stewart what happened when she did.
Such a good point. Andy, this is a sad commentary because my family was law enforcement.
Prosecutors and detectives have been doing that shit to black people for years. But now, all of a sudden, they use the same tactic against the President of the United States, who happens to have people incriminating him. Oh, you shouldn't go speak to the prosecutor. You shouldn't go speak to the FBI. You gotta hand in your questions in written form. You can't make this shit up, boy. And this nigga Hannity, I ain't gonna say nigga, I'm sorry. This person Hannity, what a blowhard. Yo, you are trying your hardest to defend this dude like he your son or something.
I was a prison guard, many New York City cops, 2 guys were dating, they made the FBI. But I have FBI friends of mine that say, never talk to the FBI. And I'm like, why not? Why would I want to help them? That would
Talk about white privilege. Your white FBI friends tell you not to talk to the FBI because they know their tactics. You freaking idiot.
my natural instinct. If you ever do and you say something and it turns out to be wrong, bad recollection, Look at General
Bad
Flynn.
recollection.
Look at Papadopoulos. It's like Professor Dershowitz has always said,
all
we're
white people.
criminalizing political differences. Sometimes you don't honestly remember something, and you can now be charged with a crime of lying to the FBI. So my friends in the FBI tell me,
If I told the police I don't remember something, they be like, huh? Or if you even told a jury, I don't recollect, I don't have recollection, I'm not credible. I remember I was in a hearing one time with my superintendent, and he gonna say he don't recollect. The guy calling me something vulgar. He don't recollect, even though he was standing right there. They kill me with this shit. I swear, yo. I swear I wish that hearing was recorded so I could like show y'all the clip of this dude saying I don't recollect when you was standing right there, and I had witnesses and witnesses statements.
to the FBI. That's ridiculous to me that we now live in that circumstance.
Well, Sean, I think that in still 99% of the cases, cooperating with the FBI is a perfectly fine idea. What you have here is a case where not only because you have an impeachment overlay, but just the nature of the investigation, the politics has really overwhelmed the law, and it makes it a very eccentric, different kind of case.
Professor, your
Politics
answer to that
overwhelm the law.
Okay, if you want to cooperate with the FBI, do it through your lawyer. Do not speak to them directly. Tell your
You hear that,
lawyer
black
what
people?
you think, then your lawyer can honestly relate what you told him to the FBI.
See?
That avoids any possibility
Don't you think
of
it's
perjury.
sad?
Fox News tell you how to get out of shit, yo.
At that point, it's sad to me.
Fox News got all the answers for y'all, yo.
That makes it
You
a
sell
crime
drugs, you're a
for
criminal,
anybody
they
to
come at
lie
you.
to the FBI. You should have to swear under oath on a Bible before you can be charged with perjury, because the vast majority of Americans don't know that. Don't know that if you tell a traffic cop in some states, oh, I was speeding because my wife's pregnant, or I was taking my
Yeah.
kid back from a soccer game, and it isn't true, you've committed a crime. The oath is very important, and it should be a prerequisite for perjury.
I think that's well said. Andy, you seem to disagree with a lot of people.
Sean, it's
Yeah. What'd you
there's
say,
no
quick?
problem cooperating with the FBI as long as your lawyer is Alan Dershowitz.
Listen, but my instinct
Or
is
Andy
to help
McCarthy.
the FBI. 99% of them protect and serve us. All right, good to see you both. When we come back, our Hannity monologue. Nike makes Colin Kaepernick the new face of the company. Tommy Lahren asked people in California what they think. Also reaction, Jessica.
One
who's wrong?
of the
We'll
new
find out
faces
straight
of
ahead.
the company. One of many. See how they try to like propaganda?